Okay, let me make this video. Um, how do I begin? So, what made me have the idea to make this video, and what I want to talk about is rejection. And basically, I can tell you the story. Today, I was walking up the high street in the UK, and as I'm walking up the high street, I saw someone who was a friend from my past. Now, as this friend from my past was walking up, his whole body language was like he didn't want to say hello to me, but he couldn't escape from the situation because we're both tall, both black guys, both with beard, both with big hair. Like, we're walking to each other, we're like attracted to each other, but he didn't want to say hello to me. And the reason why he didn't want to say hello to me is obviously because I've been isolated after vicious smear campaigns, gang stalking, groups of toxic, dysfunctional groups, friend groups ganging up on me, you know, psyops where they send females to get information from me to try to destroy my life, to send me down the path of, you know, not reaching my potential, not reaching my goals, just distracting me by, you know, sending me down into this like low vibrational activities. Now, this friend, I remember many years ago, maybe 5 years ago, he always wanted to work with me, he wanted to do music with me, he wanted me to do remixes with me, he wanted to always hang out with me. Those situations where we would maybe both like the same girl, and the girls that used to like us both would end up dating us both, but most of the time would date me first or liked me more. And then he would be calling me, asking me about the girl, chasing, oh, what happened or whatever. But so we were always like neck and neck. So we were like similar, not the same, but we were similar, like tattoo, like black, tall. We had both had like quite individual style, scene star, kind of hipster, going around into like bars and parties and exhibitions, and, you know, just being around the cool kids. But anyway, so I was walking past him now, and I was wearing my PPE, so my protective clothing, so the orange trousers, you know, holster trousers with the pouches where you put your tools. And he was walking past me, and when I'm not at work, a lot of the time I do still wear kind of like clothing that, you know, a certain style, like vintage clothes, and like kind of like designs, not designers, but clothes that may be seen as, you know, a kind of cool guy or whatever. And he was walking towards me, and he had that look on like right now. And what I could just picture in my mind was that even though after 5 years, nothing has changed with him, with his group. He used to work in a pub. He probably still works in a different pub, and he was going to work. So he had his hat on, and he was looking cool, whatever. And I was wearing my work clothes, and I was about to pick up my van to drive home after getting something from the shops. And he was trying to avoid me. Now, what we must remember is, let's try to put it a different way. If you have gold, or if you have like a £50 note, in the UK, in America, they have $100 note. If you scrumple up the dollar note, if you dirty up the dollar note, if you throw it on the ground, you stamp on it, you crumple it up, you put it through water and oil, that £50 note or $100 bill, it still has value. It hasn't changed, it hasn't lost the value because of it's gone through something, or it's been dirtied or muddied. It hasn't lost anything. In fact, in the case of people who are empathetic, sort of chosen ones, anointed people, we actually gain because we get an understanding. Like now I understand about sort of these narcissistic sociopaths. We understand about, you know, toxic groups. We understand, we gather more discernment. We learn about human nature. We learn about how people can see us as a threat, and because they see us as a threat, they start to gang up against us. They start to attack us. They make up lies about us. They make things sound worse. They exaggerate a lot of things that we do. They are always looking for, like Joseph in the Bible, where they push him in the pit. They're looking for ways to sabotage us, to push us down, but we somehow always rise to the top or become victorious, and we always do well. So why I wanted to make this video is that I wanted to make a lot of us remember that when we get isolated, when we get kicked out of these friend groups, when everybody unfollows us on Instagram, nobody wants to be our friend, we don't get the invites to the parties no more, we're left out in the cold. It's important to remember, and I have to remind myself, is that you can't actually if you're a normal or a narcissist, you can't reject a chosen one. You can't, like, oh, we got rid of him, now our lives are better. It doesn't work like that. In fact, they're making our life better. So it's important to remember that we don't lose them, they lose us, basically. It's an easy way of putting it. Narcistic sociopaths, they need energy, they need supply, they need narcissistic supply, they need attention, they're never peaceful people. I don't think he was a narcissist or a narcissistic sociopath, but what he is kind of like a ringleader in this kind of fallacy, this kind of, oh, we're so cool, we all do music, we all hang out, we all drink, we all partake in illegal things, we're like so dangerous or whatever. And that may be true to some extent, but I can see a person that's very stagnant. I can see someone who hasn't really grown, hasn't really taken any risk. Same place, same area, same style, everything was just so similar. His energy was similar. The only thing that was different was I was quite open. I've got to a point where forgiveness is key, but because I'm an empath, when I see somebody from my past, my first inkling should be to ignore the person. It's usually quite like jubilant. It's like quite happy, like, oh wow, oh, there's that person that I used to hang out with, or there's an old friend. But because the way that this thing has worked is that I haven't actually defended myself, which is a good thing, because you actually look crazy when you defend yourself from the rumors. But I haven't actually seen any of it. A lot of these way these gang stalkers work, the way these flying monkeys work, they get into our gadgets, they get into our computers, and they make it so when these posts are done about us, we don't actually, it's not on our timeline, it's on everyone else's timeline but you. So sometimes I think one guy sent me some messages and it was just like laughing. He didn't say why he was laughing, but the fact that he sent me that was like to show me that was to mock me, to make me feel rejected. And I'm human, so yeah, you would feel scared, you panic, you feel rejected, you feel, the spirit of like not belonging. But it's important that we have ancestors, we have Most High. When these people put us through these like negative things, on the other side, on the spiritual scale, we get lifted up. So they're like putting us down, and with their master Shaitan trying to make us feel this low vibrational panic and anger and angst. And what God does, God fills us up spiritually. So we have the armor of God, we have the armor of our ancestors. We're able to get into hobbies, we're able to read, we're able to still meditate, we're able to still travel, we're able to still work and build our careers, build up our bodies, get in the gym, get into nature. We're still able to do all this stuff. They, on the other hand, they are stuck in this perpetual state of partying, going out, drinking. I'm not saying that these things don't plague me to this day. I'm not saying that I don't have any inkling to want to go dancing. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I'm not saying that I don't ever do anything wrong. Yes, I do. I'm human, and I'm still caught up in these cycles. I'm still fighting my demons. I'm still trying to work on my generational curses. But at the same time, there's all these other faculties or other like areas of my life that I have worked on, still self-reflecting, journaling, still trying to become the best version of myself, watching videos, learning, getting my education about narcissism, my education about mental health, different types of human behaviors and just learning so much stuff. They're because they're like quite prideful. They think they already know it. They're like, oh, this is the bad person, and they're judging us. Only God can judge you, by the way. They're judging us and making us, putting all this, like, they're projecting as well onto us. A lot of the stuff that they do to us, they blame us for. They project all their negative feelings, their negative emotions onto us. So he was doing that with his, you know, very bad aura energy towards me, this negativity towards me. But really, he's probably just angry that he's going to stand up in a bar for the next 8 hours. Whereas, you know, I've worked today, I've done an 8-hour day, but in my 8-hour day, it was, you know, quite relaxed. It was quite smooth, you know, drove there, drove home, tools, everything that I had, you know, was there given to me, and I was just working with it in a team, and it was very, very smooth. And yeah, and then I'll get remunerated for that. And there's also progression career wise, and also outside of that, I'm working on other projects that I've always had to work on, and I would like to go back to. So I've still got things I need to work on, still got hobbies and other things that are working in the background. Whereas what I saw today, like I just said, was no change, no like real movement. And I'm still thinking of ways to move and, you know, try new things to get out of my comfort zone. So I wanted to make this video because it's important that we remember that if your family rejects you, if you're shut out of a friend group, if you are made to feel unwanted, you're made to feel unwanted by people that are not doing anything, people who can't change, won't change, people who don't self-reflect, people who are low vibrational, people who don't really have morals, people who allow themselves to be used by Satan, people who, you know, they're agents in the marine kingdom. These are the people that are trying to put their negative feeling onto us, and they want us to feel bad. And I wanted to make that video after I saw him. I wish him the best. I wish all that group the best. I forgive what they did to me. I forgive this kind of like incestuous, you know, girls and guys and things that was going on at that time. And I just want to move forward. I want you guys to do that same. Give you guys courage to allow yourself to not get drawn back into these emotions that don't serve us, and just like don't get panicked. Even if you saw someone, it's happened to me, and they just walk past you and they blank you. Whatever they feel, it's real for them, and whatever we feel is real for us. And hopefully, if they feel really bad, they should really just leave us alone. That's what we want. We don't want to be. We want peace. We want our own peace. And peace really is priceless. And they're not peaceful people. They're not peaceful. They're not. You're not missing anything. You can tap into these things from time to time, but it's better for us to stay out of the way. You know, stay in our season of isolation and just wait for the time when we will be put back where we rightfully belong.